In your fears and obstacles, you have the Eight of Swords reversed and the Four of Wands. It's almost you're fearful because it's related to the Ace of Swords in the concealed truth part. It's almost as if you're afraid of not seeing something about this marriage or connection or structure. Because I did get destabilized, this stability, this structure. You're fearful of not seeing. And I think that might have, that indicates like lack of trust, okay, in yourself and in others. So there might have been some lack of trust here in your relationships that created insecurities, relationships that blinded you to a certain degree. But I believe now you're seeing it, because with the Judgment here, it's basically it's time for you to shine, to see. So in the present moment, you got the Judgment and the Star reversed. Usually the Star upright is guidance, it's healing, is psychic abilities, is powerful magic, is whatever, guiding star, basically. It can be like Aquarius. You might have some Aquarius in your chart. But it's reversed this time. So it might be like some spiritual block, something. One of the messages that I got, the impressions that I got actually when I was first laying the cards, was like something got blocked. And with the Star reversed and the Nine of Cups here as potential outcome, something wasn't quite what you wanted. That's what I got. Something was, you didn't receive something, or you did, but it wasn't what you expected, basically. Something didn't go well, as again, maybe it was like lack of truth or something. Some other messages that I got here was joyful meeting. So maybe you will have a joyful meeting, maybe with this person further along. Batshit crazy. So maybe you dealt with somebody like that, or you behaved sometimes like that. Unwilling to sacrifice to return home. And it was return home, but return home is more like to self in this case. And narcissistic tendencies. It's almost what I see here, and it's related mostly with the Prince of Wands here and the Six of Cups reversed, because Six of Cups upright is childhood, a return home, soulmate, siblings, especially with the Three of Pentacles reversed. So it's what it gives me here is that your behavior in this situation was driving some sort of predicament, let's say. So basically what I got is there was some concealed truth. You weren't willing to see it, or you couldn't see it because you were afraid of maybe losing control or something. So you were afraid of being blindsided in this connection. So you had fears in whatever this connection was. Either they were like work-related insecurities, if it's career or project, whatever, or they were like trust issues within a relationship, if we're talking a relationship, about a relationship. So there was something that wasn't quite being faced. So what you did is you tried to control outside circumstances that forced, that almost like, not forced, but there is a forceful energy here, but sort of like looped you into the old patterns because you were trying to force something to happen instead of seeing the truth, basically. So instead of returning home, instead of being, so you're here, you were trying to get something outside, you had a specific goal, whatever, a specific image of a particular situation or relationship, and you tried to work to get that outside by almost ignoring this, the nature, nurture, something that the root, the core of it. And you tried so almost to overcompensate to do that. And this not only didn't allow new things to come in, but it's also like created, it's like it created the same things you were, because it's almost your own. So if you occupy a certain energy, a certain matrix of patterns, that's all you have. If you need new energies, you have to be able to invite new energies. You have to, oh my God, I cannot speak. You have to be able to receive, allow other energies to come in a more self-aware manner, let's say. If you didn't do that, then you only had your own past to go with, to work with, basically. So you sort of like just got into the same thing. Okay. So unwilling to sacrifice. So you are unwilling to let go, maybe some control, however that manifests. Maybe you have specific fears, fear of this, fear of that, and you are unwilling to sort of like face that. Um, and return home to self, as in to work from a space, more grounded space, more authentic, more truthful space. I'm not saying you lied or anything. This way we can have also, like, because I did get narcissistic tendencies. Um, it's hard to connect when you're like that. Um, because you're focused on how to get whatever you needed to get, which might be plausible goals also as well, especially if we're talking about finances. But it doesn't allow much, if it doesn't allow authenticity and you try to force things, it puts you off track. It's as if you are in a carriage and you just got dropped off of it. It's like, okay, so we're going there. If you're not willing because you're resisting and you're trying to do this and that, then you just, we'll drop you here. Do your thing. Whenever you're ready, you can hop on the horse again. Okay. So I think what you're trying to do now is hop on the horse again. But it's sort of like either trying to keep your foot into shoes, or you're just progressing. I think this was an intervention. There was an intervention happening here. You might have some alcohol situation here, dealing type of thing, because she is pouring. She's reversed. She's pouring something. And again, I got this one with the thingy, 9 of Cups reversed. There is something related to wine here. There is something related to, maybe it was like addiction. Maybe there's some sort of addiction here in the middle, because we did get the devil in reverse. Devil is codependency, addictions, and stuff like that. So maybe there was something related to addiction that was, if we're trying to overcompensate, maybe was sort of creating some bad choices. Maybe some harsh or hasty behavior. Anger. I don't get specific anger, but there's something about fastness, about being fast, travel fast, and communicating like impulsively. There's some sort of impulsive potential here. So an intervention, I think this was more like, and is, because it's in the present, it's more like a divine type of intervention. You need to take what is owed to you, which, as I said, for some of you it will be manifest in some sort of financial abundance or more stable abundance, something about maybe travel, movement, something. And at the same time, you need to purge whatever you need to let go of, because we have Ace of Pentacles reversed, and near future we have the Ace of Wands reversed, and then in your environment is Ace of Cups reversed. This isn't, you don't want this. Okay, you don't want this. So it's not a punishment or anything. It's just you understanding that you had your fears and you had your limits, but this isn't satisfying you. It's not where you want to be. Okay, it's not your place to be. You could do better. And this refusal of returning home to yourself, or a physical home, it's I hear uncalled for. It's almost as if God or higher self or whatever is telling you could do better than that. What are you doing? So maybe you had like a fallout or something. You had like what's the word for it? It's when you go back into, maybe you do like 10 steps program, but then you go back to it, basically you relapse. So it might have been a relapse that caused a delay or blockage here, or it just caused something to not go as you wanted. So for some of you, it might have been like alcohol type of situation. For others, it might be just old patterns. You went through old patterns because you were unwilling to face some truths, basically. I'm not saying you're at fault, they're at fault. It's not that. It's just not recognizing what doesn't work for you anymore, I guess. Then what else did you have? Passion, new beginning. You want new passion, new beginning. Dropping low. Dropping low is your environment. Yeah. Then thinking of making a new commitment. So yes, passion in the beginning. So you want to, I got this dichotomy type of thing where, again, you're dealing with, you're purging, going through whatever this is. You're using your judgment. You're thinking about whatever this happened. And I think you're deciding on your mind that you're deciding to return home. Again, this might be actual home, physical home. Maybe you're deciding to travel. Um, for others, is just returning home to yourself and understanding what went wrong. And your intention here is a passionate new beginning, new creativity, new inspiration, new um, to light up your fire within. Okay. Um, so from one side you're processing from, and the other side you want to move towards it. So it's almost, you're not in limbo. This is not a stalemate situation. It's just something that it's not of your liking, and it may indicate in the near future like wasteful energy, something. It's almost as if you're tired, because I did get wasteful energy. So you're seeing yourself with the Two of Pentacles reversed. It's almost you cannot hold this together anymore. So if you're focused like maybe maintaining a certain image or maintaining a certain relationship, or maybe you have two jobs or whatever, you're like, I cannot do this anymore because it's draining me, it's unsatisfying, I don't feel inspired. And I want new beginnings, I want new creative outlets, I want something that can spark, something that can make me get back on my feet again, get back on that horse that I was mentioning. It's almost as if you don't have the energy for it. So you're just going on based on what you have at the moment. But this is because you're also, part of you is still part of you is still faced towards the past, which still lingers in your present. So it's almost as if you want to go forward, but then the next day maybe you're drawn back to solve whatever this is. It's the remnants of whatever you're dealing with. So it's you're like split in two almost, and you're like, God, I cannot deal with this anymore, and this gives you like an environment where you're unsatisfied because you don't feel like that passion, you don't feel that inspiration, you don't feel, you just, I think you were disappointed by this Ace of Pentacles reverse. This was like you planted a seed, you were hopeful in this to manifest. This is more a type of growth. You wanted to see growth from this seed, from this pentacle, and it just didn't happen. So you're like, okay, what can I start creating? So it's almost as if this Ace of Wands comes before the Ace of Pentacles. So it's as if almost in the past you've used your Ace of Wands, you took action, and then you presented this Ace of Pentacles that might, for some of you, might have been rejected, or you just didn't get it. There wasn't any reciprocity, it didn't grow, basically, it wasn't appreciated or something like that. And now you have to almost like take a step back and in order to step forward, that kind of situation. So you're like, okay, I have to regain my energy, retrieve my own fire, lit up my fire again, and try to do something else, something. And at the moment, I think you might be in the situation of the star reversed, where you might not see yourself as bright as before. Maybe your fire isn't that strong as before because you're tired, not because you're not strong enough or whatever, but this might still affect the image that you have of yourself. I think you're quite aware of the fact what you can deal and what you can not deal, basically. It's almost as if you're not ready for a relationship, but you want a new commitment. Okay. So that's why I got also like having the foot in two shoes. It's not necessarily juggling people, whatever, but you might be juggling situations where you do want a new beginning, but it's almost like you've been dragged back by thoughts. I hear as most likely thoughts, because on your mind we have this ace. No, we don't have an ace. Prince of Wands, who's looking back at the past, is like passionate. It's almost as if he's trying to get his fire back from the past. So he's still looking at the past. His vision is towards the past when he wants to move forward, though. Disengaged. You're disengaged from the present and from the future because you constantly look at the past. And you're trying to retrieve that. It's almost when you're like, well, I used to be like that. I used to have that. I used to, a few years back, so you're trying to look at the past when you felt like that. You're trying to almost to tap into it as to gain that strength again. But this may cause in the near future a lack of inspiration, because what inspired you in the past may not inspire you anymore in the present. Even though it may inspire you, you've changed. You had disappointments, you had backlash, you've removed debts, maybe you're not connected to the same people, you've changed, whether you like it or not. So instead, maybe, yes, we can find some pieces of ourselves in the past, but if we want to move towards the future and we want to gain more energy for us, let's say, we need to find what we enjoy in the present. So find new outlets, find again new passion, new beginnings, new passion, new beginnings. So commit to something that actually helps you in the moment, because your environment is Ace of Cups reversed, and we have the Eight of Wands. It may be travel, maybe hasty communication. You might have a possibility here of renewal of energies, like a renewal of energies, if approached appropriately. It's almost as it's coming at you swiftly. You may not recognize some opportunities because you're not focused on seeing what you need and want in the present. So you think you do, but you're not enjoying it. You're not giving yourself it. You're sort of like trying to research it, but you're not actually doing anything about it. Okay, you're not actioning it. So you're mostly you're wasting energy, even though you're trying to get back your energy. So yes, for some of you you might like a hard stop. This might mean with the judgment, maybe the universe or God or whatever you believe in, it's indicating your current circumstances is indicating it a hard stop, because this is not going anywhere. With the Ace of Pentacles reversed, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, this is not going anywhere, and you have to accept that. You have to see what the heck is going on, okay? And face the consequences or your responsibilities, and drop whatever is not working for you anymore. It's almost as if in the past somebody's carrying too much and the others weren't doing their part. Others, maybe you as well, others weren't doing their part. Okay, it's like a lack of collaboration or something, unrewarding work. So we have again the Three of Pentacles reversed, Two of Pentacles reversed. It's Ace of Pentacles. So 1, 2, 3. This didn't grow. This didn't grow. Yeah, the 1, the 2, and the 3. So you're asked to, whatever your hopes you had here in the past, to drop them, because this ain't happening. Okay, whatever this is. For several reasons. It might be because it doesn't satisfy you anymore, or because, not that you're not ready, but I think it's almost, I hear like it's judgment time. Okay, it's a hard stop. That's what I'm gonna go back to, and it's destabilizing.